dear Odoers, and welcome to this tutorial about bank configuration. First, it's really important to understand how the payment process works in Odoo. Also, what are the consequences behind each payment status on your invoices? When we create and confirm an invoice, its payment status is displayed as not paid. It is recorded on one side in the account receivable and on the other in the income account. Then when we register the payment, the status changes to in payment. The payment entry does not yet use the main bank account, but the outstanding receipt account configured in my bank journal. The counterpart of the entry is the receivable account, meaning that the client's debt is, as a consequence, completely balanced, and the two journal items are reconciled with each other. After a while, you will see the payment appear in your bank statement transactions. When the bank statement is created in Odoo, every transaction in that statement is waiting to be reconciled with an open invoice or bill, a previously created payment, or another counterpart of your choosing. However, until it's properly reconciled, each transaction entry is exactly the same. On one side, we will have the bank account, and on the other, we will have the suspense account. So why do we do this in Odoo? It's basically to make sure that the financial reports are always updated with the actual balance of your bank account, even though you haven't reconciled anything yet. Then, when we match each transaction with their related open entry in Odoo, this counterpart will be replaced by the chosen account from the entry. What you need to understand as well is the difference between reconciliation and bank matching. As further explained in our tutorial on bank statement reconciliation, reconciliation is the process of linking journal items of a specific account, so the account needs to be the same, and matching its credit with the debit. It is a process that is also used outside of bank transaction. In that case, the basic reconciliation process does not create any journal entries. It only indicates which journal items are related to each other. On the other hand, bank matching in Odoo is not only to back inside those transactions with an existing counterpart in the accounting, but it also creates the full payment journal entry. In that case, those transactions are related to invoices or the related payments, and that means that the invoices will finally shift to the payment status paid. So let's see how to configure our bank journal now in Odoo. Okay everyone, so we talked about the payment process within Odoo, but let's see how to configure your bank journal to make sure that everything is properly configured. So when we are in the accounting application, the first thing you need to make sure of is the settings, particularly in your default accounts for the bank process. So if we go within the default account section, we have here 4 different accounts available. So the first one is the bank suspense account, meaning that every time you create a new bank and cash journal, you will have this suspense account available here. You also have the default outstanding receipt and outstanding payment account. The outstanding receipt is here for every incoming payment, like when you register payment on your customer invoice. Meanwhile, the outstanding payment is for outgoing payments, like when you register a payment on your vendor bills. And finally, you also have the internal transfer account when you want to make a transfer between 2 bank and cash journals. So these are the default accounts, but let's see in a bank journal configuration how it looks like. So we just need to go in the accounting dashboard and then look for the 3-dot menu in bank journal and then go to configuration. From here, you see we have the journal name, the type, which is bank or cash. Then we have the main bank account, which is unique for each bank journal. So you can't have this bank account shared within multiple journals. We also have the suspense account that is already filled in for me, the short code, and of course, the currency that can be different if you have a bank journal with a different currency than the one in your accounting. On the right side, you can also add the account number, like the IBAN number if you want to, and decide the bank fee if you want to import or you want to synchronize your bank statement. On the other hand, we also have two tabs for incoming and outgoing payments. This displays all the methods available once you want to register an incoming payment. So you have manual, batch deposit, SEPA direct debit, and PayPal. For the outgoing payments, you also have the same thing. You can decide to add a new one if you want to. Say I also want to pay my vendor bill with meal vouchers when I order some food for the office. So I'm gonna keep the manual payment method, but in the name I'm going to change it down to meal vouchers. And next time I want to register a payment on my vendor bill, I will be able to choose that payment method as well. For additional information, some people can find it confusing to only have one outstanding for your income and one outstanding for your outgoing payments. So if you want to have a dedicated account for specific payment methods, you can decide to configure it in your journal. So here, when you are in the incoming and outgoing payments tab, you have the three-dot menu here enabling you to display the outstanding accounts dedicated to that method. In my case, it's empty because we used the default account. So we keep one even for multiple bank journals. However, let's say for my meal vouchers, I want a dedicated account for that method. I can decide to assign a dedicated account, meaning that next time I register a payment with that method, I will have this outstanding account instead of the default one. That's it for me in this video. If you want to know more about this topic in Odoo, don't hesitate to watch our videos, customer and vendor payments, bank statements, and bank synchronization. Thank you so much for listening. Bye!